Hi, it's Ethan Msolin, the Merchant of Success. In this episode, I want us to talk about surviving and thriving in a competitive environment. You and I are always faced with competition. I don't care what industry, what profession or career you've chosen, you will discover that there are always obstacles, there are mountains to scale and valleys to go through because of competition. The question then is, how do you stay ahead of the curve? How do you compete effectively? Or how do you even stay away or and ahead of competition? The way to stay ahead of competition, there are many different ways, but one of those is to be impeccable. Impeccable means being excellent, being outstanding, going far beyond what people consider to be wonderful. I remember in Arnold Schwarzenegger's book titled Total Recall, he talked about how he would go for these competitions and he didn't just want to win the title. He wanted to dominate. He used words like to dominate, to blow people away. Now, if that is your goal, blowing people away, then you'll find yourself staying ahead of the curve. So I'm challenging you to start thinking about blowing people away, staying ahead of the curve. That will be one of the mindsets for you to adopt. The other key thing for you to stay ahead of competition is to really to focus more on creating rather than competing. You see, people who get lost in competition is that they are looking at how to block others, how to stop others from going into their territory. I'm not such a big fan of protectionism, that you have to stop people from entering your market because they will disrupt and all. Well, there's some logic to that and there's some help to that. And I also believe that should be a short-term strategy. You can't just keep blocking people, because then you kill the drive, the ambition of these other people that are in the local setting. So in the same way, I want you to think bigger and bolder and at such wide levels that you are lost in creating, in putting together new things, rather than stopping people from their older things. So you just have to, if you put your mind on creating, then you are 100 times better than people who are just focused on protecting, on fighting, because time comes when they run out of energy and they crash and burn, so to speak. The other key thing to stay ahead of competition is to be creative, to be innovative, to be always thinking, how do I make things faster, quicker, cheaper? How do I make them more fantastic? How do I twist this, turn that? That's why the most leading companies, they are always innovating. As of this recording, I can think of Apple. They are always coming up with a product every year. They are always coming up with a new version. Sometimes a couple of versions, I guess, per year. So you have to be at that level, whereby you're always coming up with a newer version of yourself, a newer version of your company, a newer version of your dream, a newer version of your project, whatever that is. So you have to be that focused. You have to be that driven. You have to be that innovative and creative. And when you do that, you find yourself always ahead of the curve, because most people don't think about these things. They only think about surviving. But for you should be thinking about thriving, dominating, blowing people away, to use Schwarzenegger's words. When you think at that level, then that opens up your creativity and you find yourself staying ahead of the curve indeed. Till then, be happy. God bless.